resolution in support of a Doris Duke Memorial Monument in
Members
Queen
of
Anne Square.
members of the council, this is a resolution that endorses the donation of the Doris Duke Monument Foundation to the City of Newport, a monument in recognition of Doris Duke's contributions to the City of Newport. As everyone knows, and I believe it can be explained much more articulately than me, Doris Duke helped to preserve and save over 80 properties in the City of Newport. This would be a monument in Queen Anne Square, a park that Ms. Duke donated to the City of Newport, I believe in 1978. And I won't go on and on, but this resolution, what it'll do is endorse this project, but it will also set about a process by which the City of Newport will work with the Newport Restoration Foundation and the Doris Duke Monument Foundation to see that this project occurs. Our commitment on behalf of the City of Newport is to hold a public workshop with members of the public to listen to input from members of the community as this project goes along. So I would move passage.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. I believe Mr. Roos from the Restoration Foundation is here to shed some light on the project.
Thank you, members of the City Council. Queen Anne Square is a pleasant place. Doris Duke and the NRF made this gift to the city in the 70s. It is open. It has some plantings. It's a nice place to sit in the grass. Frank Street, an original colonial lane, wends its way in its cobblestone surface picturesquely through the center. And best of all, it affords us a splendid view of Trinity Church, an iconic Newport landmark surrounded by early homes. We ask the citizens of Newport to imagine, as we have, that Queen Anne Square could be a better place yet, that it could be safer, that it could be more welcoming. There is currently no seating. That it could offer better and more usable shade by enhancing the plantings. Our plan will incorporate most of the existing trees and augment the park with new trees. That it could be more accessible, particularly the older elements of our population who just can't sit on the grass. That it could be, as the best parks are, a respite from the hustle and bustle of the city around them. And finally, that by using one of the most respected American architects and designers in the world today, it could also become one of the many nationally significant design spaces in Newport, and that Newport is so famous for, almost none of which are free and open to the public, and none of which are of recent vintage. Make no mistake, Maya Lin, who designed both the Vietnam Memorial and the Civil Rights Memorial, does not readily accept commissions, and getting her here to design a park in Newport is really a remarkable coup. The rendering, which I will now put up, is just that, and I ask you to look at it in that context. A rendering is just a concept of how something might look, and it's not completely to scale. So I'll put that up. The trees in the foreground there particularly make an apt comment on what I'm talking about, renderings not being completely in scale. One of the members of the Trinity vestry looked at them and said, well, that's going to block out Trinity. And I looked at it and I said, well, yeah, you're right, it would. And then I looked at the plan and I realized those trees already exist in the park. So if you don't mind them now, you won't mind them later. They're the matched memorial trees that are on either side of Frank Street as the park exists at this point. The design is truly of Newport. Not only does it complement all of the architecture around it, it is of the architecture and the history of the city. Each of the outdoor rooms that Maya Lin has created is the footprint of a house or building that was once in the square. This new design will evoke a sense of the past, an ancient past, so that people who use the park will feel even more connected to Newport's history. This is for the residents and visitors of Newport. Following our standard NRF practice, the project will utilize local builders whenever and wherever possible, offering an immediate economic stimulus to the city. In the long term, an improved park will be a boon to small businesses on the Hill and on the waterfront. Part of our budget is also a maintenance endowment that will cover all of the new ongoing expenses to the park, All that we ask is that the city continue to provide the same services as it does for the existing park. Fundraising at this point stands at 74% and is contingent upon the City Council approval. It is all dedicated funding that can only be used for the project in its general current form. Excitement over this project and Myolin's involvement has been widespread and deep. We have the support of Governor Chafee, the Vestry of Trinity Church, the Board of the Historic Hill Association, the Newport County Chamber of Commerce, the Convention and Visitors Bureau, the Rhode Island State Council on the Arts, many local businesses, and also I got a phone call of congratulations from Keith Stokes, who I have not had a chance to show it to. The Newport Restoration Foundation has nothing to gain from this project other than the good of the community. We sincerely believe that this is a gift that would benefit and improve the aesthetics, the quality of life, and the business climate, not only within the city, but also to a certain extent within the state and perhaps the region. It is offered with the best and the most heartfelt intentions, as was the original gift by Doris Duke herself. Yet we are also aware that this is a fairly fully designed concept as a result of the design process used by Ms. Lynn. And inevitably, there will be issues that we have not yet identified. So, as Mayor just said, we are very happy and excited to move forward with this process and hear the public concerns in a public process in whatever manner the council advises us. We only hope that it will be discussed and debated with respect to the spirit of generosity in which it is being offered. There are many deserving projects in Newport. This one fits our mission, and we feel that the foundation has a continuing stewardship for Queen Anne Square. As our DDMF board president, Mrs. Robert Charles, who is sitting over on the other side of the room, says, Newport has benefited immeasurably from Doris Duke's philanthropic energies. The city would not look the same had she not been here. It has literally changed the face of Newport. Honoring her contributions with a tangible monument is long overdue. This project is preservation for the future. Thank you very much for your consideration.
Thank you. Mr. Roos, I just want to wait for a moment. Are there any questions from the council of Mr. Roos? Councilor Neville.
I just wanted to bring up, I think in general, my feelings about this project is this could be very exciting for Newport. To bring in an internationally known artist could be very, a good charge for us. That being said, and we've talked about this, the need for the public workshop and to create a park that functionally will remain workable for us, for the Newport, for our staff, to make sure that in the end product of what we're getting is something that in the short term works and in the long term works. But I think with that sort of collaborative effort, this can achieve that. Yes,
and you and I have discussed the issue of paths, which there are a couple laid out here, but one of the things that we need to do is work. I found out from the vestry at Trinity that one of the paths that's there is very important to the congregation. And those are the kinds of issues that we want to help develop and figure out. The issue of trees is an important and alive one, and that's also something that we've already been working on in these plans and wish to continue working on, and we've gotten some input from Scott Wheeler already and want to get more from the Tree Commission.
Great.
So.
Are there any questions of Mr. Roos? Thank you very much, Mr. Roos. Councilor Napolitano.
I just would like to suggest sooner than later that we have some sort of public forum, some workshop. I think it's of great interest to many people in the community, not only the congregation, but to many Newporters. So as soon as we can arrange something like that, I think the more people know, the better.
I think so. It's a project that bears a little explaining, and I think when people have seen it and understand it, they tend to embrace it. Not everybody has, but an awful lot of people have. And we look forward to that public process.
Councilor Leonard.
I just had a few comments.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Roos.
Thank you. Some of the things that both tourists and local people have commented on in regard to Queen Anne Square have been the improvement of user-friendly, and not always were people thrilled about what was happening in the park after dark. This will, if you look at all the diagrams and the presentation, will provide very good lighting, which is a safety and an enhancement. There will be new trees, and yet protecting the trees that are there so that we have shade for people who are looking for a place to sit. And Nick Benson, the stone cutter I saw in the presentation, would enhance that area. There's a maintenance endowment, and basically, in summary, this is, which everybody doesn't always understand, a philanthropic gift. So when a gift is presented to the city or a town, we can either accept the gift or we can decline the gift. And even though we have public workshops and discussion of what's there, and maybe there are some elements that are not perfect, it's basically a gift that we accept or decline. And it's a very expensive gift, and with funds from not only NRF, but from others. So I want to thank those who worked to bring this to the city as a gift. So, thank you.
Would anyone from the public like to be heard? Ma'am, if you just come up and identify yourself, please. Just give your name and your address, please.
I'm Mary Shepherd, 10 Porter Road in Middletown, and I've lived on the island 25 years, and I'm interested in parks and public spaces all over the state, and been very active on various committees over the years. I'm afraid I'm not sure we should endorse this plan. I was up with Mr. Roos the other day because I wanted to see exactly what the design, what were the details of the design, and plus I was just down in the park this afternoon. I've been down there quite a bit recently, and the sun came out today, and well, the other day people were throwing frisbees, and it's a place of joy and celebration, and the tourists all go up there. I'm not sure this is a place for the quiet reflection and meditation and the funereal quality that I'm afraid this plan is all about sitting there and meditating on history. We want to celebrate the sunshine, and most of all, we want a comfortable place to sit. I just want you all to think, are you leaning back on your chair tonight, or are you sitting forward? I mean, most of you are enjoying the back of that seat, and people my age, I would like to be able to go into the park and read my newspaper or write my postcard. I want to sit on something comfortable, and I'm sorry, but these are stone. This is a stone foundation. We have a chilly climate most of the year, so you're going to be sitting on cold stone, and it will be kept together with cement, so it won't fall down for a while. But you can see this up at Island Cemetery. You'll see this sort of thing, but there's no back support. And the parks of Boston, I mean, Boston Public Garden, Central Park, New York City, even in its streets, putting in chairs with backs so that a person can truly be comfortable. I find that we just need some great chairs in there. We don't need Mile Inn. We don't need to spend $4 million to get some nice chairs.
Thanks a lot.
I think we should make a Doris Duke Theater and put her name in bright lights. The theater in Washington Square needs all the support.
Thank you very much.
That would be a
Ms.
great
Shepherd.
preservation
Appreciate it.
project.
Would anyone else from the public like to be heard?